Welcome back to XY on the Fly. Glad you're here. Glad I'm here. It's a blessing to be here. I'm breathing. Got oxygen in my lungs.
Sounds awesome. I'm glad we're both here. And we're going to jump right into it. Something I've been thinking about lately. When your mom and I got married, before you got married, you had to get a blood test. And, they check you for all kinds of things. They need to reinstate that because there are so many baby mamas. Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of half brothers and half sisters are going to end up marrying each other, and they're not going to know it, and and then they're really in love and they're married. I mean, they worry about first cousins being married. What the children, what can happen to the children? We have some friends that were first cousins and they married, had 2 children, I believe, but both were okay. But that's an oddity. And with everything going on with all these baby mamas, and I've been reading about it, and that's why I brought it up, because this one guy and this girl, they were in love, got married, very happily married, and then they found out they had the same mother.
Oof. That's a rough one. Jeez. When that happens, and do you finally decide to call it quits? Do you not only get divorced as a couple, but as a family as well? Do you just cut ties completely? How do you handle that situation?
Well, like these two, they're very much in love, so they're staying married. They decided they're not going to have any children, which is probably very wise. But, I mean, it can happen, and it does happen if I've been reading about it, They really do need to reinstate that.
Or just do it like I did. I mean, my wife's Hispanic, so I didn't have to worry about that. Marry outside your race. I got no problems with that. There it is right there.
But you could have
problem solved.
Half white, half Hispanic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you have a full-blooded Hispanic wife, right?
Pretty sure. There's a lot I don't know about her.
Wow.
No. Speaking of things I don't know about her, her sarcasm, her ability to shock and awe when you least expect it. Back when I was in the military, she had to get surgery done. She had thyroid cancer, and so they removed it, and she had this just recently she had it done, so she had stitches, and she wanted to go out to eat, so we went out to eat, and I will never forget, it was at a Ruby Tuesdays in Virginia, and the lady who served us, I need to paint this picture so you can understand the level of discomfort that I had. Okay, I need you to picture the sweetest big black grandmother. You have to, only they can be the way that they're amazing, loving, you can't, a white grandmother can't do it the same way a black grandmother can. So I need you to picture that in your head. So she comes up to our table and she's like, "And how are you two sweet things doing? Oh, my goodness, child, what happened to your neck?" And without my wife missing a beat, she looks this lady dead in the eyes and says, "He stabbed me." When I tell you I felt this big, I probably didn't even feel that big, because all the things that started flashing through my mind, all the things that started just, oh my gosh, my brain went a million different directions, and none of the scenarios were good, because on the one hand, I'm not going to be able to go, "I did not stab you." That's just going to make me look more guilty. I'm not going to fight her because there's no winning in that scenario. Doesn't matter if I win or I lose. There's no winning. And she begins to laugh hysterically, not the waitress, my wife. And she then proceeds to tell her, "I'm just kidding. I had surgery, and of course, the way the lady, it was so sweet. She, oh my goodness, child, you cannot play like that. I was about to rip him out of the booth and beat him. So that was one of the times that just completely caught me off guard, and I had no idea what to do. So if you have a spouse like that, if you have a relationship like that, and it's that awesome, like kudos, like because it really does keep things interesting. I just had a minor stroke there. That was weird.
You got to tell the other story, not the one that just happened, but
oh yeah, the parking lot, right?
yeah, because I feel I have a good relationship with my daughter-in-law. I know her pretty well. Our thoughts pretty much are on the same level. And when Chris told me this next story, I was like, there is no way she did that.
Yeah, it shocked me as well. So we were in Joplin, and we were going to go shopping. And we get out of the vehicle together, and we have our son with us. And we're walking towards the store, and I realized I forgot something in my vehicle. So I was like, I'll be right back. So I run to the car, and I get out of the vehicle. Well, they still continue to walk a little ways, and so I'm going to catch up, and she turns around and very firmly, slightly aggressive, and loudly says, "What are you doing? Get away from us and quit following me." I had no idea. I was like, what are you doing? Stop. And there was a dude who was in a Jeep who had a big old German Shepherd in the Jeep, and he started watching the situation. And I'm like, no way this is about to happen. Like, this dude's going to let his dog out, and I'm going to get eaten, all because she thinks she has some funny joke. And I was pretty upset about that for a long while. Because not just that, I was carrying. And so, like, obviously, the dude would have been in the right, but I'm not going to get mauled by a dog. We're going to put the dog down. Like, that's happening. So I was like, you cannot do that. That is, but now, like, looking back on it, hilarious. But in the moment, I didn't know what to do. I was angry and stupefied.
The only good thing, well, not the only good thing, but the thing about that story, since the guy had a big German Shepherd, you know, German Shepherds can be pretty skittish.
Yeah,
might have been afraid to get out of the truck.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I have a half Shepherd, half Rottweiler. I call her my Rotten Shepherd. And she's 85 pounds. And she is not the bravest dog in the world. She's getting braver. I think she was severely abused when I got her from the pound. People used to come around and she would just jet. Now she does bark, and she barks ferociously, so at least I have a good warning system. But yeah, when I saw her in the pound, we had our first dog. My wife and my first dog was a Harrier. No, not the airplanes that lift straight up. They are a bigger form of beagle. And when we found, his name was Buddy, came up with Chris, was very close to Chris. But Buddy was in the corner of the pen, just petrified. And I told my wife, I said, we have to save that dog. Turned out to be the best dog, man. What a watchdog. Awesome. So Tansy, my Rotten Shepherd, same way. So I was like, oh, we've got to save this dog. And my wife was like, no, I don't think you should get that dog. This is what I'm telling you, man. You got to learn to listen to your wives because they're smart. So anyway, I was like, no, we got to save it. So we saved it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad we have her now. But she was so petrified. We were all sitting at the dining room table, and I'm sitting there. Something scared her. And imagine 80 pounds jumping on your back. I mean, that's how she went over me. And if that was me 20 years ago, she would have went through the glass window on the door. But I just sat there very calmly and let her do her thing. And it's at that point I knew maybe I shouldn't have got this dog. But anyway, she is turning out to be a good dog. But yeah, Shepherds can be very skittish. And So you just got to watch out when you're dealing with shepherds, because you might be thinking you're getting a great guard dog, and they won't be.
Yeah. She has come a long way, though, because she didn't even used to shoot. Just me walking around with a hat on, and she would lose her mind and just disappear. Like, now she sees me, and she's all about it. Like, let's play. So
I'm thinking whoever owned her and the abuse, I'm thinking the guy wore a hat. That's the only thing I can figure.
I don't know.
But hey, if you need a dog, man, go to the pound and get a dog. Quit spending $1,500. And I know, my wife, we had a corgi, awesome dog, super dog. It got lupus. I thought only human beings could get lupus. So the dog only lived 19 months. So she wanted another corgi. Boomer, the one who got lupus, was a corgi. So she wanted another corgi, and yeah, I did have to pay $900 for that dog. But that's not normally how I work. If you need a dog, go to the pound, find you a good dog.
Both mine are pound puppies. And Zeus is my favorite. I know. Hopefully my other dog doesn't watch this podcast. It might hurt her feelings. But he's the type of dog that I've always wanted. He's very vocal, he is a character in and of himself. Like, just when I tell him to go I tell him to go lay in their beds, and obviously you've seen it, and he loves to argue. Like, he will, on his way to his bed, he will growl about it, and then when he's in his bed, he'll look at you and just growl. And, it's not even, some dogs, they have an attitude about it. Like, they're just, you can tell they're doing it because they want you to know, hey, I think you're a dick. But Zeus is doing it just because it's hilarious. Like, he's so funny about it. He's a great dog. Zypher's really good for the protector. She's very calm and but if she has to, she's pretty explosive. So, yeah, big fan of both of them. But yeah, Zeus is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, he has a boxer, which is Zeus, and then
he's like boxer something. He's not full boxer.
Well, he looks. Yeah,
his markings are boxer, but he's not full boxer.
Yeah.
And then the other one is she's Pit Lab. And
yeah, she's a great dog.
She's very loyal.
Great dog. Very protective. Very protective. And that's all I wanted from Tansy. A little protecting. But now I'm happy she just barks at people, because I know if anybody's coming into my house, she's going to make some noise. And my weapon is never more than a foot away from me. And
so I'm going to be honest. I don't like that you call it a weapon.
Yeah, I know.
It is a tool. It's a firearm. It's a tool. It's no more dangerous than anything else in your house.
So we'll have to change that to firearm. In the Army, we always said my weapon, and we would say, it's not a gun, it's a weapon. I forgot the saying how it went. This is my weapon. This is my gun. One is for killing, and one is for fun. That's how it went.
Because if we're being honest, I think spoons are more of a weapon than a firearm is, because they've done more damage to people than. I mean, look at all these fat people walking around. I don't do better, people. Put the spoon down, all right? And I'm not picking. Listen, if you're overweight, I understand. I've been overweight. I have been overweight. I've been gone into the doctor, and they're like, "Hey, you're obese." Like, yeah, but I wear it well. Doesn't matter. You're obese. You need to do something about it. So I did. It's a choice. It's a choice.
Yeah, and with that being said, if you are out of shape and everything, it only takes 1 foot in front of the other. Anybody can walk, and then you just have to restrict how much you're shoving in your pie hole, and just keep that. Keep good balance. You don't have to be so crazy strict that your life is miserable. Yeah. I got up to 209 pounds, and I'm at 185 right now, and I feel really good at that weight. So I did it by intermittent fasting, and it works very well for me. But yeah, if you're overweight, if you're frustrated, if you're all of a sudden, hey, those two guys are dicks. No, we're not. Yeah. Oh, we care about people.
Yeah, I do care about you. And honestly, I've noticed a difference from just since I started getting back into the gym and being more physically active and eating healthier. I have noticed a huge difference in how I feel. Not only just when I say feel, like when it comes to just moving around, My attitude, my mental state of mind has become a lot better. Yeah, it's not a dick thing. It is I feel for you, and if you do need help, reach out. Like, I'm sure there's people at your local gym who would be more than happy to help you out. I know, like, I love helping people out. That's why I got two buddies who I've gotten involved in the gym. One of them I work out with. I got to go tonight. We're going to work out. My other buddy, he's been working out by himself, and I give him huge kudos because we were starting to work out together, but the way his work schedule is and the way mine is, it just wasn't working. So, but yeah, he's still going, and he's looking a lot better. I have another buddy who he showed up at my house the other day and has just lost a ton of weight. I was like, goodness gracious, man, you look good. I was like, what you been doing? And he was like, I literally started watching what I was eating. I've been walking a lot, and I don't drink as much anymore. And I was like, dude, I think he said he lost like 60 pounds.
Wow.
Like, he looks amazing.
Wow, that's really good. That is good. That we're here to inspire you. We want to have fun. We want to have good times, but we want to inspire people too. Don't take everything we say as gospel truth that, oh, man, listen to these guys. They just... No, we do care about people, and but the fact is, until you discipline yourself, like I said, you can start out walking. People can't walk for you. People can walk with you, but they can't walk for you. You got to start taking those steps, and you can be like Jared and eat the 6-inch subs from Subways.
He's not a good example. Don't use him.
I was just
do
gonna
not
say,
use him as a pedophile.
Don't get into what he got into because, basically the guy ruined his whole life. But, it worked. He walked and...
It's people like him that I believe in public hangings.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. In Singapore, you'd get to see that.
Yeah.
They would, yes. Yeah. We need more of that.
Yep.
We need more of that.
Yep. But,
so.
And I have different ways of going back to, if you need motivation, if you need help, I have different tactics on motivating. It depends on who I'm dealing with and what you want. Like, I mean, with my buddies, with my one buddy, when we're in the gym, we're pretty degrading to each other. Like, get that up. Don't be a bitch. Come on, push that. Don't be a sissy. You got this. We talk like that. But if you need other motivation of, hey, you got this. Come on, you gonna make it today? You gonna get in there? You gonna make it happen? There's different forms of motivation, and whichever one you need, I can make it happen. I'll help you out.
And once again, it comes down to who you're working out with. My wife's been working out with me for 16 weeks now, which I'm so proud of her. But I can't say, come on, bitch, lift that weight.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should try that. She might, you don't know, she might Hulk out.
Yeah, she would Hulk out.
She might Hulk out.
on me. So.
Yeah.
The another thing I want to cover. Okay, there's UFC, there's Bellator, and there's one championship. I was a martial artist for over 30 years, and I grappled for a few years. And I have a horrible stomach disease that took me out of everything. I couldn't even lift weights. The psychiatrist that I have through the VA made it possible to where I could lift weights again, and I was so thankful for that. But I can't do anything, like I can't work my abs. I can't do any twisting or any of that. And the martial art I was in really relied on a lot of snap and power, and it was a good martial art because when we sparred, we did not wear, well, we wore a mouthpiece, and that was it because it was fighting. And I don't know if you've ever seen Kyokushinki, like they fight hard, but they blast each other to the body. And we did all that, but we added something. And it was an open hand slap to the face because when those guys are doing that and they're punching the body, man, the face is right there. Might as well hit it. And I had an incredible teacher. He was a Vietnam veteran, 7th Group Special Forces, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and he was amazing. So I got taught well. But when you take it over into, UFC, Bellator, one championship, which one do you like more? Honestly, I like one championship more. Let me tell you why. because they're on Amazon Prime, and I have Amazon Prime. And instead of having to pay $70 to watch stupid fights, I get to watch it for what I pay for Amazon Prime. There's nothing extra. It comes on the show. And plus, they mix it up. Instead of just the UFC, you have MMA fights. That's it. Well, on one championship, you get MMA, you get Muay Thai, you get grappling, you get kickboxing. So it's really, really exciting. And I only say that because I want to bring it to this. Oh, here's another thing. Okay, like Chris was mentioning, our concern for people who are overweight. Look, if you're that person, oh, my girlfriend or my boyfriend broke up with me, I'm going to kill myself. Man, you are really mentally weak, mentally unstable. I make no apologies for that. You're weak, and you need to deal with it. Now, flip that around. Every military person who's involved in this, law enforcement, any people along those lines know, you can torture a person long enough. That's why waterboarding, you got to really be careful, because you can go so far. Their mind snaps. They'll tell you anything you want to hear. Even if they're not guilty, they'll admit to being guilty. Well, my stomach disease has been over 30-some years, and my mind snapped. I mean, tremendous pain, horrible, spending 5 to 6 hours at a time in the bathroom. And I would finally, when I was able, done doing all my stuff, I think you know what I mean by stuff, I would have to make a tub of water, and I hated baths. I'm a shower person. 112 degrees, and I would submerge my body in that. And so my mind eventually snapped, and I attempted suicide. And so I want you guys to know that, you know, you can shoot us things in the comment. Hey, could you cover a little something about this? We don't want to be a depressing channel. We want to have a lot of happiness. And but if something's bothering you, hit us up in the comments, and we might cover it. But here's the thing I wanted to say with the martial arts. As I was coming up, and I went to my 3rd-degree black belt, but Teresa, my wife, she was like, Paul, are you going to teach Chris the martial arts? And I was like, there is absolutely no need to teach him the martial arts. And the reason was he grew up playing hockey. Hockey people know how to fight. Listen to what I'm telling you. This would never happen, but if you were going to get in a fight and they told you, you know, it's a big fight, and they told you, you can have 10 black belts or 10 hockey players. Pick the hockey players. There is not a hockey player alive, except maybe Wayne Gretzky, but he was the greatest, who doesn't know how to fight. They have been in fights. You have black belts who have never been in a fight in their life, and they get in a fight and they get hit in the face, they'll go into shock. They'll just shut down, because that's how a lot of martial art, they call them dojos, are now. They don't really teach them how to fight. They're interested in taking your money and keep promoting you up in the belts to give you that false sense of security. And Bully Beatdown, you guys might remember that show. They had a hockey player on there one day, and guess what? He floored the UFC fighter, knocked him right on his keister. So there's my information for that. You're going to get jumped. They say, hey, you can have 10 black belts, 10 hockey players. Pick the hockey players.
I actually like, was it the One Champion? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I like that way more than the UFC. And I'm not really into fighting. I like coming over and hanging out, though. To me, it's like one of those, it just, I feel like we haven't really advanced much. It reminds me of like the Roman Coliseum. Like, get in there and fight. Only back then it was probably more entertaining to the death. Like, I don't. So it's all kind of I'm like, we really haven't come very far, have we? But I do like One Champion because they mix it up a lot. Like in the UFC, he's great in jiu-jitsu, and then when you watch the fight, it's just pretty much wrestling around on the ground, and like I don't. But Champion One, at least that way, they keep it more like the rules. Like, okay, this is the fighting style that we're gonna do for these two. keep it that way. Like, you're not going to take it to the ground. You're going to stay on your feet, or vice versa.
Yep.
So I am a fan of that one. So if you haven't checked it out, you check it out. Because
Yeah, and you need to see the world grappling champion. His name from one championship. His name is Mikey. He's the world champion, and he's a comic book nerd, and he looks like it. But
Yeah.
guess what, man? He could tie you in a knot.
yeah, I wouldn't want to like I've seen him fight or wrestle 2 times, and the first time I saw him, I was thinking, this dude's never been in an event this large, because he looked very uncomfortable. He looked like he really didn't know what was going on. And then, but when he was out in the ring, he showed like his comfort was there in the ring. And then the second time I saw him, it was the same thing. So that's just who he is. But yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, and I'm a fan of him. I am. I hope he's a fan of Deadpool. That's my favorite.
Yes.
He's a lot. I love Deadpool. Just my personality through and through. So
What next?
I don't know. I think we're getting close to 30 minutes, honestly. But I think this is we can run it a little shorter today. We tried to shoot one of these already, and yeah, it just, like I said, and we both said it, we're not scripted, so we kind of just roll with whatever comes to mind. And the one that we did the other day, because we're trying to get ahead, so that way if one of us isn't available, one of us gets sick or something like that, we could still roll them out once a week. And we tried to shoot one the other day, and it was not. I went in and started editing it, and it was rough. So
Hopefully this one's going to be a lot more enjoyable. We
Oh, yeah,
have
right.
fun. And, he said about one championship coming over. I like to have guys come over and, sit around. We eat pizza and drink soda. Some of the guys have some beer. And it is a good time. And just like Chris isn't really that much into football, but, hopefully this Sunday, 5:30.
oh yeah, I'll be there.
We'll do
We'll
the
hang
Super
out.
Bowl, eat some pizza and chips and whatever, and go Patrick Mahomes.
Heck yeah. Also, we've been noticing the subscribers building, and I haven't even, I know that there's an algorithm that you can follow to get more views, to get your videos out there more, but honestly, I'm kind of just letting it do its thing. You guys are doing awesome, so appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Thank you for it. Yeah, I haven't been using hashtags, nothing. It's been pretty simple with what I've been doing. So, yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, and just doing it off the cuff like this, it's more natural. I mean, if it's scripted, we could fake it and, make it seem real. But this way, you're getting our real personalities and what we're about. And we're having fun. So I hope you guys are having fun. And don't marry your half-sister.
Facts. We're making YouTube great again, okay? This is going to be fantastic. We're going to be the greatest podcast in the entire universe, okay? Huge. Thank you, guys.